Jim, you had a...
You didn't touch on wills when you were talking.
Hey, but where will's not in your...
Well, it's not in there, but you were talking
your
about
will is part of
insurance
your...
and the insurance.
It's financial planning, a will.
Estate?
Estate planning, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't even bother with a will. You want to set it up through a trust that lives on after you're dead, and that way you don't have to deal with estate planning, and you don't have to deal with any of that crap, which is very simply done. It's very easy. It's easier to set up a trust that's going to live on after you're dead than it is to deal with estate planning, a will, and all that other crap.
Does the trust expire?
No.
Not after 40 years or something?
Trust is like a business that goes on forever.
And so with whom does one establish this? A lawyer?
No, you need to do a lot of research and you need to know what you're doing. Okay? So for those of you that haven't heard me, or if I haven't said it in this class, do not be confused with this. A lawyer's job is to get you out of trouble. And an accountant's job is to make you pay taxes. Okay? So you go to your lawyer and you say, I want to do this. Tell me how to do it legally. Or, I went out, I did my research, and I want to set myself up this way. How can you help me? Or can you point me to the right direction? You've heard me talk about I'm going to my lawyers and I'm telling them how I want to do real estate. And I'm educating him on how to do it. And then he comes back to me and he says, you know what, Dario, we can do this, we can't do that. The 90-day challenge students, we went through that. What I wanted to do, I couldn't get done, and I figured out a way to get it done. So it's, you got to figure out how you want to set up your estate, and then you have to be intelligent enough and you need to know enough about it that you go to the people and you say, this is what I want, make it happen. Okay? Otherwise, your lawyer will set up what you want, and then what he thinks you want, and then when you get into trouble, he's going to say, well, you know, my job is not to do this kind of stuff. My job is to prevent you, to get you out of trouble when you're in trouble.
Okay, so clearly you have some expertise in this area. So the idea of establishing a trust, could you point us in the right direction? There's no pointing that's going to go on. Nothing whatsoever.
You don't have enough asset. Forgive me for making that comment. My assumption is that most people in this room don't have enough assets to be worried about a trust.
And how much would you say that one needs to have?
I'm going to say a few to several $1 million.
A couple million.
No, a few to several. I didn't say a couple. So, $5, $10, $15, $20 million before you start looking at setting up something that's going to be living after you're dead.
Okay.
You know, otherwise it's cost prohibitive. You know, you've got to assign a trustee of your trust. He's got to follow very specific instructions. There's got to be a business model there large enough that it supports a management team that continues to grow. Right? A couple $1 million isn't going to make that happen. So that's why I'm not pointing, because there's no point. It's like, it would be like me telling you, oh, go set up a corporation. Go over here to set up a corporation because you need one. Well, no, there's a time and place where you need one, and I would guess to venture that most of you in this room today don't need a corporation to do what you're doing. At some point in the future you will. When you're making $500,000, $1 million in revenue, you might want to consider a corporation. When you're making 100,000, 150, you don't need a corporation. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but that's my opinion.
This is very true. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Any other questions?